Welcome back to another episode of the Jacksonville Buzz. I'm Steve Strum. Next to me, as always, is the ever punctualis.
Wow.
Colonel Chris Budihas.
I'm here.
That's a big word. How's the move going?
It's going great.
Yeah, so you're moving, and
I am moving.
You might need to get a house. It means you're going to need something.
Yeah.
How do you buy those things? Lots of capital.
I heard you got to have capital.
A little bit.
And I think you need to go through a mortgage company.
That's why we're not here to talk about you. We're talking about this guy. This is Will Serra from Mortgage Now.
How you doing?
Well, we know what you do, right? It's in the name. Tell us a little bit about what is Mortgage Now.
So Mortgage Now, we're a boutique mortgage company here in Jacksonville. We've got a dedicated group of mortgage officers with us right now. It's the owner, Marshawn, and then Melissa are two other members of our team. So we are really dedicated to making sure that our clients are taken care of from start to finish.
Is there a specific client you're looking for? Is it based on threshold of how much they make or a house they're purchasing? Or
honestly, anybody that needs some money to buy a house, we're ready to help them.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we like to say is that if we're not able to find you money for a home, nobody's going to find you money for a home.
That's fair.
Wow, and that's very, coming out. It's funny, COVID, right? 4 years ago, COVID, right? It seems like it's just yesterday. As we get further past that, a lot of things have changed in the mortgage industry, the housing industry. We had this huge run up in prices, and now you got this interest rate thing. There's all kinds of stuff going on. What are some of the things that you are seeing with your clientele on how to maybe mitigate some of those concerns that we're seeing in today's economy?
Is really to educate them. There's a lot of information out there that's just misunderstood. People hear a lot of things like, my brother did a mortgage 5 years ago and he said this. I needed 20% down, or I got to have be in a job for a year before I can apply.
Yeah.
There's so much misconception, and you really want to be with somebody that will trust and has the knowledge to guide you through the process. We do mortgages 100 times a month. You guys might do mortgages 2 or 3 times in your lifetime.
Right.
So having an expert on your side, having somebody that's going to walk you through that process is really, really important.
Yeah. And so what sets you apart from your competition?
I mean, besides this?
Yeah, I know.
That was assumed,
So what we like to say is that we're dedicated to our customer to a fault. Marshawn, I've seen him go to the floor. When I say that, I mean, he will take money out of his pocket to make sure that everything is right.
Yeah.
We'll go to the floor, meaning like, you're the most important. Your experience going through this is what's important to us, and that's what we truly care about. And everybody can say it. Yeah. We show you that through our earnesty and the way that we treat you and the way that we communicate with you.
Well, I like your descriptor, boutique. It doesn't mean that you're prissy and you're prim and you're very expensive. It means that you're going to get treated like you're special, right? Yeah. And that's what I'm hearing about Mortgage Now is like, hey, you're going to come in, we're going to take care of you, no matter where you're at economically, to get you what you're looking for within your price point. So
yeah, I mean, think about if you were the experience you would want your mom or your family member or your closest relative to have if you were to recommend somebody.
Yeah,
you want to have that faith that that person is really there. They really care about this person as much as I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where we start.
That's great.
One of the things that we were talking a little bit offset is, and this might be for some of the other members of the team in a different segment, but like, what are the top 2 or 3 things that you're seeing? I know that the mortgage and the housing market are all, they're obviously, you need this to get that, and you can't get that without that. So what are the top 2 or 3 things that you're seeing kind of if you had a crystal ball over the near term, midterm, long term, about what you anticipate both in Jacksonville as well as, how that, mortgage/housing world relates to the community that may be watching this, and for those that don't live in Jacksonville that watch this, in their areas. I know Jacksonville is something but just both in the micro and macroeconomic side, what do you see coming over the next year or 2?
So it's a really good question because it's ever changing.
Good question.
Does he hear
first
that often?
one in 5 years. Yeah, actually, yeah.
So, but what we know that there's a rate cut coming, right? So in the short term, it's like everybody's sitting there waiting to go, oh, we've been waiting for rates to come down. Now they're going to come down. Guess what? The rates are already adjusted to that. Yeah. The banks, the lenders, they're 6 months ahead of us, right? So it's time to move now. If you're thinking about getting into a house, it's time to talk to a professional because there are programs out there for people with no money down. I mean, people that we can get them funds to go towards closing that they don't have to pay back. So it's instant equity. Yeah. So if you're thinking about that, home prices are going to continue to rise. They may not go as sharply, but they're definitely not going to be coming down. They might flatten.
Yeah.
And in the time that you're waiting for either the rates to come down or the home prices to come down, your perfect house just got off the market because somebody took the step ahead of you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's the time is now. If it's ready, if you're ready to buy a house,
Yeah.
the time is now. If that's what you want to do, and you have to have somebody trusted to do that with you.
So right now you're servicing, it sounds like Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia. Where does mortgage now go in the next 3 to 5 years if you have a crystal ball?
So, I mean, we want to start. I mean, we really want to start recruiting good people to our team, and it's not just top producers.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
people that have the same feeling that we do.
Yeah.
By the beginning of next year,
Okay.
at the latest.
That's great.
In 5 years from now, the sky's the limit in my mind. I mean, we want to be able to take care of our local market. The rest of the state of Florida,
Yeah.
we can get people all over the place, but it's just a matter of where we expand and we do it the right way at the right time.
Yeah, it seems
'Cause we're not looking to be huge. We don't want to grow to be an enormous
and then you
thing,
lose
'cause
kind of
we
that.
lose what we want.
Exactly. That uniqueness of mortgage now. And what I've seen is, statistics here in Duval County, Northeast Florida. We're a little bit over 1 million people, but the growth potential could be another 1 million in the next 5 to 10 years, probably closer around to 8 to 9.
It's huge. All the building that's happening, even on the south side of Jacksonville, where I live off of Hodges, they're starting to expand past JTB on Kernan. I mean, these are all new areas that are coming in. We've got a lot of high-tech companies coming into town. We got a lot of healthcare companies coming into town that are growing.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's
it is
not going
fascinating.
anywhere.
Well, if you look at Jacksonville, it is literally the demographic of the United States. It's like almost every metric. The Jacksonville market represents the United States as a whole. So as much as we talk about Jacksonville's opportunity, we're really talking about a larger animal. We could go on for those items. One thing as we kind of wrap this segment up, I do want to at least take a minute to point out Marshawn's personal dedication to it. We're going to have him on another segment. I'm not going to bring him like a bill, feel like personal money, give me some scratch. Will said so. I'm not going to do that, but I'd love to have him on another segment and talk about that personal journey that he has, that his vision, vision, mission, value, as he decided to make that leap, and then you guys decided to come with him, like how that makes that difference. Because especially as somebody who is transitioning out of the military after 35 years, big decisions have got to be made, right? For myself, as I continue, I've got, I'm getting into that weird, the kids are almost in college, but not quite yet universe, right?
Life
so there's changes there, right? And then for the people that are watching this that are maybe the first-time home buyer, and it doesn't, from what I understand, a first-time home buyer doesn't actually mean that it's the first time you've bought a home.
That's right.
There's certain criteria by which you can requalify for that. And so there's just so much stuff, and it changes daily. What we'll do is we'll make sure to put all your links on our website, which is the dailynewsnetwork.com, so you can come check you out, hike out the rate, get some education. But we'd love to have Marshawn on another segment and some other members of your team to kind of articulate the value proposition beyond this episode, because I think you guys have a lot more to unpack, and it's hard to do that in 5 to 7 minutes. So for the moment, we're going to pause this one. Thank you so much for joining us. Chris, brother, can't do it without you.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for joining us today on the Jacksonville Buzz. If you like us, share us. Remember, live with gratitude.